One of the biggest misconceptions that we hear between subcontractors and general contractors is what is the most important thing? Performance, performing and the way you're intended, or the price in which you get. What do you think you guys choose more often or not? What's more important?
I would say in general, if all of our partners just did what they said they were going to do, that would solve 99% of problems. Now, doing what you say you're going to do could be for the right, for the price that you said you're going to do it, in the time frame that you said you're going to do it, with the resources that you said we're going to be here. Those are all challenges. But when I look at a project that's got, if it's got some schedule slip or a budget bust or something like that, most of the time it comes down to somebody didn't do what they said they were going to do, and that could be us. I mean, we there's things that we certainly don't do perfectly, but that's probably one of those critical areas that surprisingly happens more often than it should. For most owners, budget is a huge piece of it. The number that they're paying out of their purse is probably a critical piece, but sometimes with a client, it might be all about time. We've got a large industrial project right now that we were just approached Tuesday with a very significant financial problem that the owners got, and nothing we're doing wrong. I mean, we're rocking and rolling on schedule, but they're asking us to look for every opportunity we can to finish earlier than we said we were. And when they kind of shared the financial impact that they're having on their, shipping and storage elsewhere and things that they will eventually be able to do in this expansion, the number that they shared can make a lot of things go away in our world. It can add double crews, work overnight, that type of thing. So in that case, time is critical.
What you just said was key that I took from that. They laid it on the table and allowed you to make a choice and decision, which you have the free choice that, yeah, we can do it under these circumstances or not. And by doing that, I think having a real conversation is what gave you guys the ability to come up with a solution. We work with a ton of sureties. So one of the ways that they've always talked about, like writing performance bonds, and specifically the performance bonds or payment bonds to subcontractors, they've deemed as an industry that in the high 90 percentile of problems occur because of cash. Material doesn't show up on site. Why is that? They didn't have the right terms, or they didn't order it. Why didn't they order it? Didn't have the cash. Behind schedule. Why? There's only 5 guys. It should be 10 guys. Why is that? Can't manage payroll. Has to do with cash.
Good point.
And with sureties is really how we started. One of the sureties came to us like, if you just had a finance program that could help the subcontractors, and the first question I had was, you're out of your mind. I'm never going to do that. Why would we do that? That's insane. And I said, anyway, I bring up, and subcontractors all the time, I can't let anyone know because, if I'm going to look financially weak. And my response to that always is, everybody has a finance partner. I don't think if you just let the general contractor know you have a finance partner, or this is how you're going to be able to execute, just have that real conversation and let them handle it with you.
I could not agree more we had a problem about 2 years ago with probably our most trusted subcontractors, who's now out of business. And everything that we heard, kind of after the fact, was that he had gotten in some financial trouble. And not that we can solve all problems. I mean, at the end of the day, there's decisions that people make financially that certainly affect their business and their lives. But this was a relationship that it was kind of we could have worked these problems out. We could have probably looked for opportunities to help them, and not necessarily financially, but there's just ways that we could probably alleviate some of the strain that they were under, but didn't know about it until it was way too late. And honestly, when we were finding out about it from suppliers, it's too late. But I think that happens time and time again where, somebody's not doing what they said they're going to do. They're having some kind of problem, and they're either embarrassed or they feel like the general contractor or the owner might react just saying, "Oh, you're off the job. We're going to penalize you," and maybe sometimes that's needed, but just having an upfront conversation, I think, can get a lot of things worked out.
I couldn't agree with you more. Proactive instead of reactive. Have somebody give a chance. That's where we fit in, and what we've decided to do is try to talk about some of those topics since we're in the middle of it, and hopefully it just generates conversations.